Shinran Shonin is the most important person that I've ever encountered in my life. Of course, I only know him through his teachings, but I also know him through the lives of people who have been the recipients of a tradition. Jodo Shinshu offers something very important. It offers a sense of deep humility, of self-reflection, of an understanding that we are infinitely connected with all beings.
So the Shin Buddhist path is going beyond the ego self and awakening to our true self that is one with all of life, one with the entire world.
I think a lot about gratitude and kindness because it's a place where I really do think that Shin Buddhist teachings can make a difference. They help you understand gratitude through our own imperfections.
The teachings really help me to understand the needs of people. We have to really look at ourselves, to really feel and be honest with our pains. It's when we try to hide our pains, that's when we get into trouble. The teachings is actually helping me to look at me.
My path to Shin Buddhism is due to my family. I'm actually from a ministerial family. We still have a family temple in Fukuoka. I'm actually the 4th generation Shibata to serve in the Buddhist Churches of America, and it's quite an honor for me to be able to carry on this family legacy.
I was raised as a Shin Buddhist. We were members of the temple in Eastern Oregon. My father was a farmer there. Although I didn't understand the minister's sermon or anything, hearing them chant, hearing them say the Nembutsu with such sort of conviction was something that struck me even at a young age.
Back in the late 19th century, persons from Japan began to immigrate to the United States. And as their families began to grow, they realized that the spiritual aspect of their lives was something that was missing.
My parents were farmers. They lived a very difficult life, but then they found that the teaching sustained them. That was the foundation in which they decided that they needed to build places where young people can learn about the teachings.
And then in the 1940s, as we all know, World War II happened. Persons of Japanese ancestry were taken from their homes and sent off to camps. Among them, a great majority were Buddhists.
The driving force that kept them going was the importance of the teachings.
That experience actually, in some ways, motivated people to protect and to try and grow the teachings afterward.
After the end of the war, in the 1950s, the Buddhist Studies Center became the official ministerial training center for the BCA. And in 1969, it became the Institute of Buddhist Studies. After that time, IBS has continued to both grow in breadth and as well as depth.
The environment itself here allows, I think, all of the students to have not only a personal journey, but be able to learn the doctrine and to also be in an environment where we have the support of so many wonderful teachers.
We are in a master's program, but it's very personal. The professors really care about us and our journey. It feels like family, but it's also very rigorous.
I believe that the Jodo Shinshu Center is a home for all Buddhists, not just ministerial students, but also scholars in Buddhism, and especially for those individuals who are part of a temple who want to continue their education.
We want to make the teachings available to everyone. Now is the time to invest in both the Institute of Buddhist Studies, the Center for Buddhist Education, and all the programs that are housed here at the Jodo Shinshu Center, so we could go forward from there.
We have to be warm and embracing. We have to make it accessible for a new person to get a feel for what is Buddhism, what is Jodo Shinshu. So that's going to be our challenge. We have to have the financial basis with which we can do many creative things.
The Dharma Forward campaign is, I think, going to be very important to the future of IBS. We're looking at just expanding IBS in a general and comprehensive way as partners with the BCA.
What's really important is taking those programs that are grown here at Jodo Shinshu Center and getting them out to local districts, local temples, and to communities. I think it's just a huge opportunity for Buddhist education to grow.
We are working toward having a more robust distance learning program. Many of our ministers' assistants who want to study at IBS don't live in Berkeley. So we are moving toward offering all of our core Jodo Shinshu courses as online courses.
Digital resources would be very valuable for even just local temples as well, to be able to get different perspectives from so many wonderful teachers that we have within the Buddhist churches of America.
Dharma Forward to me means going forward together in the Dharma. Several years down the line to look back and see how Buddhist education has grown based on the fact that we all got together and said, we want to do this. It's just something that I would be so happy to be a part of.
We have to really think about what sangha means. It means that group of all Buddhist followers. Our contributions would not only benefit our own temple sangha, but benefit BCA as a whole.
When I think of how we got to this point, I have to think about all the generations of people that carried the Dharma forward to me.
It's having my family sacrifice their life in Japan to be able to come here to carry the Dharma so that generations and generations of individuals have this opportunity to hear the wonderful teachings of Shinran Shonin and the Buddha.
Recently, I've learned about the monarch butterfly and their annual migration. That to me is such a beautiful metaphor for our life as a Buddhist and Dharma Forward. The monarch butterfly starts its migration from Mexico, and then they begin to fly to the north, even into Canada and northern parts of the United States. By the fall time, then they begin their migration back to the south. Over this course of 1 year's time, it takes 4 generations to complete that 1 year journey. Some of them even go back to the same tree that their ancestor came from. Each generation of monarch butterfly does its task so that their species continues. If the Dharma has impacted us in any manner, then we have a sense of responsibility to carry it forward. Not just through reciting the Nembutsu, but you have to share the teachings.
The Dharma has always gone forward. The Dharma always wants one thing, to have the teachings support the needs of people and to bring them up from their issues and problems. If we can get the people to share these teachings with the world, then I think the contribution will be really great.
All of our temples were built and founded by a spirit, a dedication to transmit the teachings. And so we have all seen that success at the local level historically, and I know we have it within us to do it again for the future.
We're moving forward. We are a part of this movement to move into new horizons, to understand and meet new challenges, to find ways of resolving them. I think that's, to me, what Dharma Forward implies. It's a wonderful, wonderful phrase that really captures the essence of this campaign.